Good morning, YouTube. I'm back from vacation, and welcome to another week in the life of running our dealership, NG Supercars.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan, and like I said, I've been gone for 11 days. First vacation in 7 years. And let me tell you, the worst part about going on vacation is coming back from vacation.
Come on, Dan, I'm not happy.
No, yeah, I can't stand Randy. Yeah, I'm just trying to get my head wrapped around everything that's going on. And it's funny because the shop was completely full when I left. I think there was 17 cars here, and there is a lot of room here now. Lots of stuff has changed. So I'll walk through the shop and tell you everything I know that's going on. I don't know everything that's going on. And I'm still getting caught up in emails. I've actually been working on emails and other crap all morning. It's already past noon. And yeah, so before I get into it, do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Check out normalguysupercar.com, our parts and services website, and ngsupercars.com, our dealership website. And if you're looking to get a car, do me a favor, go get your name on our list. Go to ngsc.me/thelist. Fill it out and let us know what car you're looking to get, and we can help you out. He's just trying his best to not make noise. I appreciate that. All right, so where are we at? This is our friend John's car. It's here for service. We did some work on it. We fixed one problem of the two problems it had. The other problem is still here, so we have to get that fixed. We're trying to figure out what the hell to do with it. That car, client's car, got converted. It's almost all done, I think. It needs a steering rack. Yeah.
Someone expertly noted a leak.
Yeah. So, interesting enough, when this car, before it was acquired, the client sent me out to do a PPI, and I noted that it had a buildup of grease accumulation on the steering rack. So we cleaned off all that and then drove the car, and we came back. The steering rack was actively leaking. So we got a new steering rack ordered. So yeah, there you go. That's one of those where the PPI exposed it. So not like, that's the nice thing, is it wasn't a shock to the client that, hey, the steering rack needed to be replaced. It was like, hey, there's a possibility. We couldn't tell because, again, the car was on the ground. I couldn't really get the car in the air and do the things we need to do to really inspect it properly, but I at least got the camera in there, could see that there was a leak at some point, and it turns out it was enough that, just makes sense to replace it. So that will get done, that will get taken care of, and then I think this car is done, and it could go back to the client, which is great. That car, also client's car, we sold him this car and converted it into a manual, and just finished installing a stereo head unit and some other stuff. So I think all we're doing is just driving the car and then buttoning it up, I think. Then just after that, we have the next conversion car on the list. And this car is also getting a full IPE exhaust, and we're doing the dash, a couple other things. So this car's gonna be pretty badass when it's all done. It's got a lot of stuff getting done to it. That is the Audi that's gonna get done. It's actually a friend's car. And then the yellow 360 is still here because the part we ordered is stuck in customs. So I ordered another part from another company, and hopefully that gets here sooner. We'll see. I think we have a deal. Oh yeah, we actually did get a down payment on that car. So that car is going to be converted. We're doing a clutch, doing a bunch of work on it. It's got a ton of shit we're gonna do to it. So I gotta make sure we have all the parts for that car. I think we have most of them, but not all of them. So I need to get that. That's something I need to do today. This car, I think we have a pending deal on it. So I need to sync up with Josh on that one. Consignment McLaren, no offers yet. Not until unexpected, because McLarens don't sell as quickly as Ferraris. And another car, talking to someone about possibly having them buy this car. So yeah, and that's kind of it for the cars in the shop. Now Josh said he has a car that he's trying to buy for us, I think Thursday this week. So we'll see. Hopefully it'll be in this video. You get to see that car. And then Saturday is the first Saturday of the month, so we have our monthly meet at 9 a.m. So I'll actually put that in this video as well. There you have it. That's where we're at. I need to get back in the groove, so give me a little bit. I'm going to do some more shit, and then I'll catch up with you guys a little bit, because, man, it's so much to do, so much stuff going on. It's not quite as relaxing as vacation. All right, YouTube. I didn't film a whole lot today because, well, I was on the computer and then I was pulling the interior out of this car and doing various random other things. So today was, I was test driving that car a lot because we got that done with the conversion and we want to make sure that the converted cars go out the door shifting really well. And we got that one dialed in. It is glorious, absolutely glorious. I love it. It's hard to go wrong with the 430 at the manual. I mean, every time I drive one, I'm still like, yeah, that doesn't suck at all. Anyway, that's it for the day. I'm sorry it wasn't super exciting and not a whole lot got filmed, but we got some more stuff coming. Yeah, it's just trying to get caught back up. I'll be honest, I was like half falling asleep today. I'm so jet lagged. I was gonna film some YouTube videos for you guys, like some content driven ones on the main channel, Normal Guy Supercar. And I just was so tired. I'm like, man, they're gonna come out like crap because I'm gonna have no energy. So I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be a bit more caught up on sleep. So I'm gonna go home and go to bed early. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, good morning. It's the next day. Randy is going to get that thing out of here, hopefully.
Working on it.
It's been just sitting in the air, taking up oxygen. You know.
It's the other 50 cars that have been here.
I know, right?
It made us space to move.
That's true. We can actually wander around it a little bit right now, which is great. We do have a car coming Friday, but this car is basically done. So I test drove it yesterday. Randy test drove it. We did do a small adjustment. I drove it again after the adjustment, but now it's had a full chance to heat cycle, so I'm gonna drive it one more time. And then I already scheduled the detailer to come clean it up tomorrow. So it's good to go anytime after that, which should be good. So I'm gonna go take it out for a spin and verify that everything's totally happy after it gets, that'll be its like fourth heat cycle, so it should be fine. Hey man, we've had a couple cars that, you know, we drive 10 times or 5 times or whatever, and then they get it and then it, yeah, anyway. Oh, steering rack on that car. So we're gonna do a power steering rack on that, which I think we'll do after that because we just want to get that Audi out of here. And I started doing some stuff on this guy. I'll keep working on this. My goal is to get the interior mostly out for Randy and maybe put in like the some of the stuff in the front. And I ordered the part for this from another company, so hopefully we get it soon. Yeah. And then we have another car I need to ship in here. Randy's he's trying to walk the dog really slow. So it doesn't, you might as well just like pull the Band-Aid off and get it over with. Those things are, why are those things all so loud?
You get the ones with the nylon wheels. They're very quiet.
So basically, because we're cheap ass.
Yeah.
Okay, we should buy a nice
like
one.
a decent,
That's like the
nylon
cheapo.
wheels
Although
is
that
like
one was like
$1,000.
$300 and something dollars.
like a decent one's like $1,000.
Oh Jesus,
That's why nobody buys them.
that's stupid.
I don't even have a nice one. I got a racing aluminum jack from Snap-on at home. It's not cheap, but still not
Yeah.
nice.
We do need a cheapo, super light one that we can just pick up. Well, anyway.
The Harbor Freight version aluminum racing jack.
Yeah, one of those. That one's kind of got a pressure leak anyway. Once you get up a ways,
Yeah.
probably needs to be bled. Well, anyway, all right. Got a little bit of computer stuff. I'm gonna go drive this car right now, get that over with, make sure it's good, be happy, so we can shove it in the corner and let it get cleaned, and then off it goes to its new owner. So I'm gonna do that. All right, YouTube, so got the center console out on this car. I haven't done much else on it yet. Randy put the new power steering rack in this car over here. I had to give it an assist because admittedly that was a bitch. So there's the old one, which we actually need to send back to get a core exchange because that's a pretty expensive core. It's like $2,000. Yikes. So we're gonna get that sent out, and then he's got, oh yeah, you can see, brand new, looking good. So we get that all buttoned up, and then probably send this car over to get an alignment tomorrow, most likely. So we have another car that's getting in alignment there, so hopefully we can do the old swaparoo. And then I was trying to see about rewiring one of the ACs. So we've run into a slight problem, which is now that we've, I don't know, built out the shop more, we're running the sub panel near its limit. It's not at the limit, but it's near its limit. And on a hot day, it's possible that the heat combined with running near the limit, kind of puts it over the edge, and it occasionally pops the sub breaker feed to the sub panel. So that's not ideal. So I am getting quotes to redo that. The door was partially open. So I'm getting quotes from electricians to redo that and up the amperage. And the problem is you can't just like change out the breaker. It turns out the wires, I checked the gauge of the wires, and you would have to change out the wires to a bigger gauge wire. Sucks. So that would be seriously a pain in the ass. And then I thought about, well, I'm like, we're running the shop fairly close to the edge of what the main panel is capable of. We're running it, it's a 200 amp main panel, and I need to double check that. And I think we need to bump it up to like a 250 or maybe even a 300, which means we'd also need to run new wires for that. So that would have to come from way out there in the yard. And they'd have to run new lines underground and all that shit. So not ideal, probably expensive. Anyway, I'm going to have some electricians give us quotes because it looks like a pain in the ass. Also, our electric lawnmower died. The batteries died. And I looked up batteries for that thing, and they're quite expensive. So I'm probably just, I like found some local kid, see if he can mow the lawn. So I'll just pay him to mow the lawn for the rest of the year or whatever, deal with it, because I don't want to deal with that shit. And then I also have, like, these are like things that like, wow, we're like really a real business. So, that sort of stuff, it makes me feel kind of good. Like, I don't like spending money on that stuff, admittedly, but it's a good sign when you have to spend money on that stuff, because like it means you're like actually doing stuff and getting somewhere. Anyway, that's basically it. It's not quite 5. I have a few more things I'm gonna wrap up before I get out of here today. But I did test drive this in the morning, and it was awesome. Drives wonderful. So it's getting a detail tomorrow, and then hopefully picked up on Friday, maybe. We'll see. So this car will be getting out of here very soon, and then that car, as soon as it gets the alignment, should be all done. And then we're going to be blasting on this car. And we have another problem. Randy is going on vacation in 2 weeks. Actually, it's getting less than 2 weeks now. It's like only a week and a half. Yeah. So he's gone for a while, which means the shop is going to grind to a halt. Yeah. So we're going to do everything we can to get as much done as we can before he goes. And then, I don't know, I guess Josh and I might have to do some wrenching while he's gone to keep stuff flowing, because I don't want it to stand still. So that's kind of where we're at right now. And I'm still jet lagged. I'm definitely still feeling it. Just tired. Like, I don't even know what it is. I slept a long time. I went to bed early last night, and I'm still just tired. It's just, I don't know, I guess just shifting your schedule like that just takes a while. Well, I'm feeling it. Feeling it hard. Well, good morning, YouTube. It's Thursday, and Mo's here. You went out, Mo. Okay. Go on. Go pee. It's kind of been raining on and off this morning a little bit. I actually already got here about an hour ago. Did some stuff. I had to run an errand, so he's just like, oh, I need to smell stuff. Okay. If things go right today, we might actually have Scott's old 360 back here today. So that's actually the errand I was running, is they could not get the car started. So I went out to the body shop to get it started. We got that car running. We had it, we converted it, replaced a bunch of stuff, took care of it from the flood, and we actually have a buyer for it. And the last thing was that we said we would take care of repainting the front of the car because it got scratched up and it had like a gazillion paint chips in it. So the last thing they had to do is put the bumper back on, but they couldn't get it started, so they couldn't move it, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, went over there and got it started. So I moved it. They should have the bumper on it later today. And if so, then I can go get it and bring it back here. And then we're also supposed to possibly have the 458 with the Brilliant exhaust done with its alignment today. And if so, we're going to swap it with that 430 that got the new power steering rack, because obviously they're going to have to do an alignment on that. So got to get both of those taken care of, hopefully. So we'll do a swap. We'll swap-a-roo. Swap the 430 for the 458. But in the meantime, yeah, just raining Mo. And it's Thursday. Tonight will be the Thursday Night Live. So we decided to start moving those to every other Thursday. So it'll be this Thursday, and then not next Thursday, the Thursday after, and so on. So, put those on your calendar. Mo, what are you doing? He's just wandering. Huh. Well, that's all I got for the moment. I need to do some more wrenching, I guess. I'm going to help Randy out, get some stuff figured out. Our lawnmower broke, so I actually hired a local kid to come out and mow the lawn. Supposed to do that Friday, although it keeps raining, so it might not happen Friday. I'd like it to happen Friday because Saturday is our first Saturday meet. Oh yeah, if you didn't know about that. First Saturday of every month, 9 a.m., we have a meet here at the shop. It is open to all vehicles, so people have asked, oh, do I have to have a supercar? Nope, you can bring whatever. We don't care. I'll get some coffee and donuts and chill, grab a coffee, grab a donut, and schmooze and check out cars and stuff. So first Saturday of every month, unless it's raining, which we'll see about this week. Good job, Mo. Put some fertilizer in that lawn. All right, well, I'm going to get situated and then we'll chat in a little bit. All right, YouTube, it's the end of the day. Moses, did you have a good day? Yes, you had a good... Oh, yeah. Gotta lay down and get the rubs. Oh, rubs. Good boy. Okay, well, replaced the TGK valve on the yellow car. Got some more wrenching on this car. That car is going to get cleaned up tomorrow and maybe shipped out. This car got the steering rack replaced. We need to send it off to get an alignment tomorrow. So we're going to swap it with the other car that's already at the alignment shop tomorrow. So we'll do that. And then the 360 that was salvaged, Scott's old car, we're going to go pick up tomorrow. It is done. We just ran out of time. So that's it for the day. So I guess we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. So, okay, so it's Friday. And we're vlogging, but hilariously, Randy filmed a vlog while I was in Japan, and he forgot to film an intro. So Jamie's getting on his shit. And he's like, you need to film an intro. So he's all like, I don't know how to do it. And I'm like, dude, I don't know how to do it. I've just been like, dude, I don't even know where Good Morning YouTube started. I just literally, you know what it is? Good Morning Vietnam. That was the only thing I could think. Good morning Vietnam! Like, oh, I should be like, Good Morning YouTube, and have all that energy, and I don't have that kind of energy, so instead it just kind of became Good Morning YouTube.
Need more caffeine in that.
Yeah, I don't drink caffeine, so it's like anyway, that's how I start my videos. It's awful, and anyway. It's Friday. Yeah, we're gonna do some stuff on this car. Oh, look at it.
We're doing stuff.
He's actively doing stuff. The dashboard's coming out because it's getting new dash vents.
Dash leather.
And dash leather.
And
yeah.
chemical, and we're doing the full leather retreatment again, like we did on the gray Spider.
I will say,
on the red Spider,
it really made it look amazing.
It did. It looked so much.
It looks so much better. It sucks because it's expensive, but God, it makes such a difference. Yeah, no more like
that are shattered.
And the stitch lines aren't going like that.
The whole time you're driving, you're looking over the top of a ugly dashboard. It takes away from the experience a little bit.
So it's funny is you're around these cars so much that you start like nitpicking because like you see everything, right? And the more I've seen cars with good dashes, the more I appreciate it because it's so uncommon.
Yeah.
Like 90% of them have a messed up dash.
And we live in Texas.
Of various degrees, especially in Texas. So like, when I say messed up, I mean like not perfect, because some of them are like really awful and some of them are just like, they're fine. But like, man, when you see one that's just like perfect, you're like, oh my God, like that just looks amazing. It's so uncommon. But well, we had a really good Thursday Night Live. We talked about Japan. We talked about the values of cars right now, which actually inspired me. I want to do a video. I'm going to do a topic video on the main channel on Normal Guy Supercar, talking about the crazy values of Ferraris right now, and is it a bubble, and so on and so on. So I'm going to talk about that in a video because it's kind of nuts out there. Like a Ferrari 360 sold yesterday on BAT for $302,000, which, okay, for a low mile, gated, super rare spec. No, it's gated. 22,000 miles, very plain Jane spec. Does not make sense, but does it? We'll talk about that in the video. So go watch that video.
Is that everyone just abandoning their Bitcoin for hard assets?
Like, oh, this Bitcoin thing ain't working out after all. Better buy some flow. Yeah, better buy some real things. Yeah. Well, we're gonna be working on that. That car is gonna get washed and cleaned up and prepped, and it's all done.
What, 4 cars getting ready to go home?
Yeah, we got to go pick up the 360 from Podium. That car needs to get swapped out with the 458. that's at the alignment shop so that car can get in alignment. So I guess we're gonna have to do that too. Hopefully Josh is back so he can help us shuffling cars because we got a lot of car movements today. And then the yellow car is also going to get washed and stuff because...
I got washed yesterday.
Oh, wait, that's right. The yellow car did get washed. My bad.
Like, the wheels are sparkling.
Yeah, actually. So, whoops. That's like the cleanest it's been. Yeah, that's right. That one did get washed yesterday. So, okay. She's looking good. Nice. Actually, yeah. Damn. It looks really good. Oh, my phone. I should probably take this. All right. Got in another car for a conversion. The rare yellow 430. Actually, it's a pretty uncommon color. It's got scud wheels on it, and they're like kind of like a chrome black. They look good, I have to say. So we'll be getting started on that car, I think, next after that car. If I remember correctly, I think that's the next in the queue. So that's kind of how we want this to work, where the cars show up right before we start on it instead of showing up months ahead of time because we only have so much space in the shop at the moment. By the way, we're trying to build out the front shop. So that is something that's going on. I have to say, that 360 sounds so good. Yeah. It's got the 2V exhaust and it just, with cat deletes and stuff on it. It just.
It's got full headers and everything.
I can't remember if it's got headers or not. I know it's got cat deletes.
It's definitely peppy. It's fun.
Yeah, it's got. Dude, this is the dumbest thing about it. The Flood 360 drives better than most 360s we get.
Yeah.
Isn't it so
it
weird?
had so much work done before it got destroyed. So.
Yeah.
Well, not destroyed. It got damaged and got filled with water.
It got filled with water.
It has been cleaned. It has been converted.
The fluids have been changed. Everything's been changed. It's ready to rock and roll.
It's so much fun.
I love that car. That if I was gonna do a 360, that's the 360.
Red black.
The red black.
Super balanced.
Yeah,
It sounds really, really good.
God, it sounds so good. When you were in front of me going, I rolled down my windows. I'm like, oh yeah, oh yeah. Well.
Now he gets to go to a new home.
I should call HD and see if we can swap these out.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'll do that. Might have to go run another errand. Okay, you guys, you're gonna get a good laugh on this one. So, all right, we converted this car to a manual, and one of the other jobs he had us do was install an aftermarket stereo. Not uncommon. First of all, something about these cars, it's always a mystery of what you're going to get when you pop open and see what's behind the stereo. Well, this thing was a complete rat's nest because it already had an aftermarket stereo. It was really janky. Anyway, so Randy got in there. He had to let's just be real. He had to unfuck all the fucked, right? It was awful. It took him a long time. Anyway, so one of the things that happened was there's a dummy plug thing right there. What, the poverty button, the button that's not there, right? It was all messed up. Someone had ruined it and put this aftermarket USB thing on it. And anyway, so we threw that away. We ordered a new dummy plug for him. It's this part 696639900, and it literally says dummy plug right there. See that dummy plug up there? This is a brand new part, right? It's sticky. The brand new part came from the factory. Look at. Sticky! You can't make this shit up. It literally came from the factory. Sticky! It's a sticky button from the factory. It doesn't even have this. It's probably been sitting in some hot, sweaty warehouse for 10 years, just turning into goo. And they're like, oh, here you go. Oh, he needs a new part. He needs the dummy plug. Here's the dummy plug. And then here it comes, and it's just nasty.
They wanted it to be pre-patina for you.
Pre-patina.
So it matched the rest of the
right, yeah, actually that's what it was. They wanted to match the rest of the car. Well, we already took care of some of that. So anyway, now I gotta take care of a sticky button to go put in.
The brand new sticky button.
The brand new sticky button to put in the dummy port. By the way, we didn't charge the guy for any of that. I had to pay for overnight shipping because the car was supposed to get picked up today, and I was trying to get it here today, and blah, blah, blah. That's just, we do stuff like that. We try and make the cars better in ways that maybe you don't even notice. So I'm not even going to tell him that we did that. Who knows? Maybe he won't notice. I don't care. It makes us happy because that's doing it right. All right, so we tested the TGK valve on the yellow car, and it did not fix the problem. Yeah. So the AC ECU, even though we got it rebuilt, I don't think it's working 100%. I think it's working 75%. So we tested the ECU out of that car and it worked instantly. which is what we saw before. The 430 ECUs were working in the 360. We actually read they did different programming in the 430s to a little bit more resilient. So anyway, the owner of that car preemptively bought a 430 ECU for that car. So we're having him ship us that. So we're gonna do that and put that in there, and that should take care of it. But in the meantime, I need to take this car to go get its alignment, and I'll go bring back the other car that's at the alignment shop. So I'll be back in an hour. All right, YouTube, it is late in the day. It's well after 6. I was gonna go home earlier, and then I was like, oh, it started raining balls. I have a car that's out there that got washed, and I didn't really want to drive it back in here when it's raining this hard. Ah, dang it. I'm gonna have to go out there and get wet. This is gonna suck. Well, I also promised the guy who owns this car that I would get it inspected and let him know what other services we think it needs while it's here for conversion. So in order to do that, I had to pull off the side panels and the bottom panel and kind of look over some stuff. Good thing I did that, because it did have a few things that we didn't expect. So like the power steering pump is leaking pretty bad, so we're gonna replace that. That's actually, we've seen that happen a couple times now on these conversion cars that come in. We'll see the power steering pump on the 430s and 360s leaks. It's kind of a thing. I don't know what it is about them that causes them to leak, but the problem is that they sit directly above the AC compressor, so when it leaks directly onto the AC compressor, which in turn causes the AC compressors to die. So it's, you know, you want to take care of it. It also, we always look at valve cover gaskets to see if those are leaking. Well, this one was leaking bad enough that the oil had pooled up onto the headers and boiled off. So that is a big problem. That's like a fire hazard problem. So I was like, yeah, that one's not, don't mess with it. You got to do that one. But the way we kind of operate is I just took pictures of all the stuff. Like I took pictures of the fuel pumps. You can see this car has the original fuel pumps. So someday those will crack. We don't know when. They are not currently leaking. So I just said, hey, it's the original fuel pumps. We recommend you replace them, but you don't have to do that. It's up to you. So we discussed it on the phone, and he said, nah, I'll leave those for now. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine, man. Makes sense to me. Engine mounts, yeah, he's gonna have us do those because they're like halfway done. They're not quite terrible, but they're gonna be. So like, okay, you know, we're already in there. So yeah, that's kind of how we operate. We're very low pressure when it comes to doing the work on the cars. You know, we get a car here for conversion. A significant number of them have more work than just the conversion because it's kind of like while you're in there. But we just look over every car. We have our own inspection process when we get a car for conversion. We look it over, and if it needs stuff, we just say, here's what we think you should do. Some of the things we'll say, you really should do this, and other things we'll be like, you know, wouldn't harm to do this, and other things it's like, yeah, it's just something we noted, and we just leave it up to you guys. But anyway, you can hear the rain. It's coming down hard. I hope it stops because tomorrow we're coming back to the shop to do our first Saturday meet. Maybe, hopefully, we'll see. So anyway, now I need to go get that car over here, and I guess I need to first move this car. Actually, I could probably just shove it over there. You know what? I'll do that. I'll just put that car up in the air, put it over there. I guess we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, if it's not raining tomorrow. Actually, I'm gonna have to come in either way, I think. But, all right, we'll see you guys tomorrow, and that'll wrap up this video. Well, I was about to leave, and the rain just kept coming down. As you can see, the trench is rolling hard. There is a lot of water going on right now. So the trench is doing its job, but I'm nervous, I'll be honest. I guess I have PTSD from the previous incident. It's not intrusion. There's no intrusion on the building from the ground. I mean, the building leaks. It's, you know, an old shitty building, but this is kind of what's scary is look how much water is coming down the front, and look at over there. The boo, the water's up to the door line in the boo. And dude, there was a patron at the temple, and they are stuck. There's no way they can get through that. Yeah, see how there's brown in the water? That's dirt coming out from over there. See, look at it, it's all brown because it's all dirt. I'm just gonna hang out here until the rain goes by. Make sure I don't have to move all the cars out. Well, YouTube, I didn't think it would come to this, but I am extremely sad to report that the boo is flooded. Yep. It's a tragedy. I don't know if we'll ever recover. We should probably fold up and just call it good. Seriously though, this is insane This rain has been super intense. Like, it's not moving. It's just straight down, no wind. Just like, I mean, look how much water is over at the temple. By the way, there's some temple patrons that are trapped. Like, they can't get out because they would die. They would get washed away and die. So that would be bad. They should probably stay put. They're gonna be there a couple hours. Good news is I think it's dying down. Also good news, the trench worked. So no groundwater got into the shop. We do have some water that got in where the building just leaks. Look at that, the trench is trenching. That water is hustling and it's really excavating, which is good. So it's actually excavating itself deeper as it moves that fast, which is good because it's basically making itself a bigger, better trench for us. So that's good. Yeah, it's doing its job. Just think, all that water would have been right at the same surface as the building prior to the trench. So that's the good news. Our trench plan worked. I'll admit, this is the first time I got nervous about the shop since the flood, that I was like legit concerned. I think we're past the worst of it now, so it's gonna be okay. In fact, look, there's a tiny bit of sunlight out there. So it's just a super slow moving, stubborn storm. And it's like, it's really narrow and it's just right on us. So I definitely have to rent the Bobcat again and redirect and move some dirt around, because now that like I have an opportunity to be here while it's raining this hard, I can see where the water wants to go and where I need to do stuff. So we got to change some things around. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, I was trying to clear out the gutter and I got stung by a bunch of bees because I pissed off a bee's nest and they stung me, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. That's awesome. So I'm feeling that. A little, yeah. They got me right in my head too. Right in the back of my head. There's a big old lump back there now. Super sensitive. Well, at some point I gotta bring that 360 back in the shop. Ironically, the 360 that was flooded, gotta bring it back into the shop. Well, I think the worst of it's over. And then I gotta just clean up all the water that came in. So, yeah, the problem we have now is that water, it just built up along this side of the building and it kind of comes in. So I need to excavate below the grade of the building over there with the Bobcat so that the water, like basically I need to dig a bigger trench up here to feed the trench in the back. So the one thing I did not compute is that the water coming out of the side of the building, like over there, that's a shit ton of water. Look how deep that is. That's a foot deep. Yeah, I didn't plan for that. I didn't think about that. I was so concerned about back here because that's where the water came in during the flood. That's what we focused on. But now I'm seeing that, oh, yeah. So you can see the water running down from over there and then going into the trench. And the trench is doing its thing. Also, a little annoyance because this is at the same level. So like, you know, the flood built up all this extra dirt. This was not this high before. It actually kind of slanted away. Because it built up all the dirt to the same level as the ground, water was just, you can see coming in right there at the roll-up door. I just dug this trench right here to kind of get the water to feed out that way towards lower ground. And that actually surprisingly worked well. It immediately started draining the water that way. So that was good. Happy Friday. Well, YouTube, I'm still here. It's after 9 o'clock. The rain's done. Yeah, so the problem we're running into now is this. This water was, I guess we didn't really kind of anticipate how much water would come out here. And what happened is it got so high, it was just flowing in under that door. So I had to build like a dam, for lack of a better term, using some wood and bullshit that was just laying around. So you can see it's still tons of water going that way. Clearly, I'm gonna have to get the Bobcat and trench that out and dig it so it stays away from the building and goes that way towards the big trench. I think if we can do that and get the water to stay away from the building, then we shouldn't have water intrusions like this. It wasn't ideal, but at least it was like that much water. Sometimes I'm like, do we give up on this location? But I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go home, eat some dinner, and I guess I'll be back here tomorrow morning, nice and early, so I can finish mopping up because I'm tired and drenched. I am absolutely soaked to the bone. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, I screwed up. I forgot to record anything during the Saturday meetup. I promise you, there were actually people here. There's actually still a few people here, but I'm not going to show them because whatever. But anyway, the rain, so we got over 7 inches of rain last night. We have some things we need to change about the property to make it better, but the good news is the trench held up, no actual flooding, a little bit of water intrusion, but not bad. So we have some ideas of how to fix that, but otherwise, that's it for this video. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching. Check out normalguysupercar.com, ngsupercars.com, and we'll see you in the next one. We're going to be doing a lot of cool car stuff. You're going to want to stay tuned. It's going to be sweet.